Bienvenidos de regreso. Ahora les vamos a enseñar un reportaje que hizo Cintia sobre nuestro DJ favorito, Chapa. Obvio, disfrútenlo.
Es conocido como DJ Chapa y no solamente sabe cómo prender la fiesta, pero también es un líder y visionario en la comunidad estudiantil hispana de Denton.
Right now I'm working on my master's degree in the Department of Anthropology, focusing on education. My particular topic is undocumented Latino students and how they navigate in a climate of anti-immigrant symptomy, you know, how those, the top of the tier for the undocumented students, those affected by the DREAM Act, how they go about getting into college here in Texas and how they succeed so well, how a lot of them were valedictorians of high school. And we're just trying to focus on, I'm trying to focus on how they do that, how they succeed with all these limitations and barriers. One of the biggest reasons I feel so close to them is because me growing up, I kind of feel like them, you know, they don't feel accepted.
El camino que Sean ha tomado para llegar a donde está ahora ha sido todo menos sencillo. Decidió regresar a la escuela y conseguir su diploma. Después de graduarse, se integró a los Infantes de Marina y después de servir a su país, todavía no pudo conseguir el respeto de sus superiores solamente por ser latino.
When I got to my first duty station, the first experience I had, I walked in to the commanding officer. There was a gunnery sergeant for our little platoon. He sees me, he looks at me, and he's like, "Hey, Holmes, go steal me your car." And I was like, wow. Now after that, they didn't really have a lot of respect for me, so I accepted a lot of what they did to me, you know, just pushed it off to the side. You know, I got used to it.
A pesar de todos los obstáculos que se ha tenido que enfrentar durante toda su vida, una cosa es segura: este activista va a seguir luchando por justicia social a su propio modo.
I like to go to a lot of high schools and talk to the kids. I've been to the JJAP here, the Juvenile Justice Center. I mean, one of the most powerful things I know that really affects me is when I go to these high schools, the guys, you know, in those classes, which are the worst in the case of the Latino dropout rate across the board in the nation, they'll come up to me, and the thugs who look like me, they look at me like, they're like, "What, you're in college?" Sometimes I go with some of my fraternity brothers, and, you know, we'll tell them one of us is working on our masters, one of us is working on our bachelors. Who do you think? And I have one of my brothers. He's from Plano. He looks like a nerd. I hope he doesn't see this, but he looks like, you know, a typical college guy. You know, unlike me, I don't, I guess. Yeah, and the tattoo, and, you know, I don't look like a typical college guy, and it just amazes them. You know, they'll usually point out, "Oh, you're his security guard," you know, or something like that. They can't imagine somebody like me being in college, and it's just, you know, there was once at the end of the session we had, one of the guys who wanted to go to college but just didn't feel like he belonged, and he was a good student, and he went and he got like 3 or 4 of his friends, and he came back and he's like, "Yeah, this is the guy I was telling you." He's like patting me on the back, and he's like, "Yeah, I want to be like him." And, you know, it was just amazing to show like a spark in somebody, to bring it out, you know, to show them, look, I did it, you know, I'm just like you. There's no difference in us, you know. If I'm here and I'm doing it and I'm succeeding, it's hard, you know, there's no reason why you can't. The biggest things I come to college for is to challenge the dominant ideology that you have to eat with this fork and use this fork, and you have to dress like this. You know, I'm here just to say, no, you don't. You know, I can be professional in my Dickies in a cut-off shirt, and, you know, I guess I have this big ideology, you know, of judging me by the content of my character, not the way I look, not my appearance. I'm here just to show that you don't have to conform. You can succeed, and you can become the dominant culture, which is what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to create my own dominant culture society, so, and hopefully one day I can.
Oigan, la verdad es que Chapa nunca deja de sorprenderme.
Yo sé, siempre está muy involucrado y es un excelente ejemplo para nuestra comunidad latina.
Sí, pero bueno, prometimos gente famosa, así que